Welcome to Emmyspeaks, where inspiration meets entertainment. We are here to share stories of hope, resilience, and unwavering pursuit of purpose. Are you ready? Subscribe to this channel and join us on this journey of transformation. Hello everybody, welcome back to my space, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Emmyspeaks and I am Emmy. So everyone who has been showing support to my channel, thank you very much. I see your likes, I see your comments, and I am grateful. If this is your first time of stopping by, please subscribe, hit the notification bell as well. So every week when I post a new content, you will be notified. Today, I want to talk about myself. I want to talk about my journey. I know that I have introduced the channel to you. I've told you what we are going to be talking about. And should be told, I already edited the content that was supposed to be released in place of this one today. So it's edited and all that is left to do is schedule for its release. But I had a very interesting session with my life coach earlier this week. And I thought it wise that it will be important to share with you all about this journey before we go further into talking about anything. And this is not scripted. So I don't have a script for this, which also means that I don't know how this is going to go. I don't have a script for this, but I know what is in my heart, which I want to share. So it's going to come out how it's going to come out. But this is just me sharing with you all my journey. The journey of how I lost my voice, found it, lost it again, and then found it. Well, like I said, we're all going to see how that goes, right? Okay. Okay, I'm ready. So growing up as a child, I had a voice. And I was not afraid to use it. As a child, they would always call me Madam Moderator. And the reason being that whenever there is an event in school, whenever there is a debate or something that needs narration or needs someone to talk, a Fufa Immaculate is the person they always go for. And yeah, that's me. So everybody would say Madam Moderator. That's how they called my teachers in school, my proprietress. Everyone called me Madam Moderator. I would love to go to the radio station a lot. My mom would always take me. She would always take me to the radio station. And I knew so many journalists while I was growing up. And they were fond of me. I was fond of them too. I loved them. And they also knew my mom, because of that relationship. So I'll always go to the radio station during holidays. I don't know if they do that a lot now, but back then, the radio stations used to have some programs where kids would just come and I don't know, they used to call it, is it holiday campaign or something? Kids would come and we're going to share stories, we're going to do rhymes. I just loved talking to people. Yeah. So I always loved going to the radio to do all the holiday programs. Like I said, I had a voice and I wasn't afraid to use it. And I remember always telling my mom that I want to become a journalist. And I was so excited about that. Fast forward, I go into this space. So this is me leaving this space. This is the first phase of my life where I have a voice. I'm not afraid to use it. I'm happy about using the voice. And somehow it feels like people around me love putting the voice into use. They love calling the voice to the forefront. So they'll always look for me. Whenever there's a long speech, they know who to go to, the moderator. And the voice was being encouraged. It was put forth. Whenever we have events, the school I attended back then is very popular. So when we have like a graduation ceremony, end of year parties, we're always doing it in the Congress Hall. The Congress Hall takes about 500 to 700 people. And so I would stand in front of all of those people and I would read my speech. I'll be so happy doing it. That's the phase. Of course, primary school, you cannot be in primary school forever, right? I leave primary school and I go over to the secondary school. When I get over to this other phase, I realize that the voice is not very welcome as much. It's not very celebrated. It's not being called out to the forefront. I'm growing up, and if you want to put your voice out there, you're going to have to take up the responsibility to put your voice out there. I see people doing things, but then I'm just shying away, waiting for my voice to be called up, to say something, to do something, and nobody's ever calling me up. And slowly the voice is just being quiet down, just like that. Not only that, I'm also encountering people who are saying hateful things about my voice. I'm getting in touch with people who are being offended somehow by my voice. When I get to Form 4, when I get Form 3 going to Form 4, it's in Form 4 that you get to choose a subject that you want to do based on whether you're doing art or sciences. So you choose the art subject or the arts subject. And if you want to become a journalist, you want to go the arts direction, because that's where you get to do literature, you will get to do history and all of these things. But then if you're going science, you're looking more of like doctor, engineer, or all the science subjects, geology and all of that. And I've always said that I want to become a journalist, right? I've been telling my mom, I've been telling those around me, I'm excited, I want to become a journalist. I was raised by a single mom. She did her best. She's so amazing. She is the best mother I could ever have. And she did everything she could to make me happy, put a smile on my face. In fact, ever since I started this YouTube channel, my mom has been calling me. She's been praying for me. The other day, she sent me a very long voice note talking about how proud she is of me to see me come alive like this. And it reminds her of me when I was a little girl. I have been able to walk my way to this point where I am using my voice and putting my voice to use. I'm just saying this to let you all know that I love my mom and she supports me 100%. Back then, she did not have much of a choice. Like I said, I was raised by a single mom, and of course, she had support, she had help. She had help from her siblings, her parents, her dad actually. One of the siblings would just say, let me sponsor this person, which was the case with me. I found favor in the eyes of her very kind-hearted younger brother, who took it upon himself to sponsor me through school. I had good education growing up because, I was being sponsored. So my uncle, he sent me I went to a good private school. In fact, I had it good. It just so happened that by the time I was in Form 1 or Form 2, I seem not to remember that well. It's been so long. Jesus. Am I that old? Yes, somewhere around that time, my uncle traveled. As you can imagine, his plans were to have me fly over to the US and meet him there and continue life there with him. Because of that, I was told that I have to do sciences because this is how your future looks like. At some point in time, once your uncle is settled over there, he's going to start processing your documents and then you can join him. And over there, the medical field is what pays. The medical field has a vast range of opportunities. So it is better that if you're going to end up being in the US, then you should do something that relates to the medical field. And of course, that was supposed to be my destiny. And just like every mother, my mom, she wished for that. Also, we live in a society where there are certain professions that are accepted by the society according to the societal standards. If you are on your way to becoming a doctor, then you're voted to be most successful in future. If you are on your way to becoming an engineer, you're voted to be most successful. If you are on your way to becoming we have some of these other professions, teachers and all of that, then you're voted to be more successful. Other than that, it's going to be a struggle. So usually it's safer to pick this line of profession where you can have it easy, and just have a safer life. And every parent wants that for their children. I have kids. In as much as I will not make choices for my children, I will want the best for them. I will wish the best for them. And I will encourage that which is going to be good for them. So yes, my mom at that time, all she was thinking about is, I love my baby girl so much and I just want her to have an easy life. I want her to have it great. So go and do sciences, which was kind of disappointing to me because, as you can imagine, I always wanted to be a journalist. And so I lost that. The minute I went in for the science subject, that killed the dream of ever becoming a journalist. And what I did not know as well is that also shut down my voice. Yeah, here I am in the secondary school struggling with the science subject. I've left a phase where I was a bright student. I was an excellent student, a top student, and I'm now struggling. I've just become this average student. With the science subjects, I was just struggling to, go through. Well, I can only try my best. So yes, I was trying my best and doing all of that. As if that wasn't bad enough, I'm in this phase where I'm also receiving a lot of hateful things being said about my voice. People just listen to me if I'm just saying something, and they'll be like, "What kind of cranky voice is that? I was crack voice that sorry." I remember there are so many instances. I remember them. They're just popping up in my head like that. But let me just name a few. In Form 4, we had this additional maths teacher. Additional maths is a very complex subject, so you don't want to carry a serious face while teaching the subjects, like students may not really get you. So he was fun and he was very playful. He comes into class one day and he's saying all these very playful things, and we are laughing and I'm screaming, as you can imagine. And he's like, "Oh, what kind of voice is that? Does a lady talk like that? That voice is so ugly for a lady." And everybody burst into laughter. I joined them because at the time, what can I do? I can only laugh. I joined them. So we laughed about my voice. There's also this other time, I'm in Yaoundé. I'm a part of this church Christian group, and we go out for a conference. We are in the dormitory, the girls' dormitory, and we're settling in. I'm talking with my friends while we're trying to settle in. One other lady is like, "Wow, Emmy, your voice is really nice." And immediately, like, the thought doesn't even settle in. Immediately, there's this other lady on this other end saying that, what do you mean by her voice is really nice? What kind of ugly voice is that? Her voice is so cracky. In fact, her voice is so irritating. It's so offensive. I hate to hear her talk. Like, when she joined the community, I was hoping that she had cough, and I was even praying that the cough should finish so that the ugliness in the voice can finish away with the cough. But after a while, I realized that this is her real voice, and it's just so irritating. And people are laughing. We are all laughing because, yes. And she talks about it with so much passion. When we even leave the dormitory and we're going to the hall to meet the others, she's saying, "I hope you're not angry, but I just find your voice really ugly." She's insisting on how ugly she finds my voice. And I'm just like, And she's like, "That's your natural voice. Nothing ever happened to you. Nobody, you don't have cough, nothing, and that's your voice." The voice will what suit. Yes. That that was said to my face. She didn't say it behind my back. She said it to my face. I also remember this one time when I was in Yaoundé. Now this is when I was reading the university. I wake up in the morning and I go to the store to buy breakfast because I'm coming to make breakfast in my house, and I'm listing the things that I have to buy to the store owner. And immediately she turns around and she says, "Vous les bamenda si." On vous avoir ici à Yaoundé, don't show she's saying it in French. She's saying that you Anglophones, when they send you here, your parents send you to Yaoundé, and in their minds, they think that they send people to go to school. I'm sure where your mother is right now, she's thinking that you were in school or probably studying all through the night, of which you spent your entire time in the nightclub. Listen to your voice. Now your voice is all cracked. And she was trying to imitate, to mimic, and she was trying to mimic me. Listen to your voice. Je veux le pain. Is that how a jeune fille is supposed to talk? So she's asking, is that how a young girl is supposed to talk? They go to school quietly now. No, you go to boîte de nuit and you casse your voice. The interesting thing is I've never been to a club. I don't know what the four walls of a nightclub looks like. I've never been, but all these things were said to me, and I stood there as she was mocking me, and then people were laughing all around. I couldn't say anything. I mean, like, what could I say at the time? That, how do I want to explain that? No, this is my natural voice, so who is going to believe you? Like, seriously, who is going to believe you? And I just stood there. She said those things. And then after she served me, she was kind enough to even serve me, because with how angry she was, I didn't even think that she was going to serve me after that. I don't know if my mother made her one monitoring police over my life, because the way she took it personal is like, go to school. Now you're only going to nightclub, this nightclub, that. She was so angry. So at the end of the day, she was still kind enough to serve me the things that I went home to make breakfast. What I didn't know is, with all these hateful things that were being said about my voice, my mind was receiving it, and there was a standard that was being formed in my mind. Slowly, my voice was being shut down as a result of so much negativity it has received over time. I've had people say things like, if they dash me their voice even for 50, I'm not fit to take up. So, things like that happened to my face, not behind my back. I didn't hear someone gossip about it. I didn't hear. I was there. They were saying it to my face, and I had to hear it. I had to look at the expressions on their faces while they said these things to me. It was hurtful. I felt hurt by this, and yeah. Okay, yeah. Fast forward to the turning point. During the holidays, I'll go back to Douala and meet my mom, and she's going to make things for me to sell. Sometimes it'll be chin-chin, sometimes it'll be gâteau and all of that, and I'll hawk around selling them. So there was this particular holiday, I went to Douala, my mom made chin-chin for me to sell, and I went around selling it. So usually, I don't know how hawking is done these days, but back then when we used to hawk, it used to be, you're screaming, croquette, croquette, and because it was in the French zone, I had to call out the name in French. So I'll be screaming around, croquette, croquette, so that whoever is far off can hear that chin-chin is passing by, and if you want to buy, you can stop me. That's how we used to hawk back in the day. I'm going around the quarters and I'm screaming, croquette, croquette, and this group of people call me and they're buying. I'm happy. They're really buying. They were drinking actually. So I'm happy. It's like they're really buying and they're giving good comments. So they're eating and it's nice. They're giving compliments about the chin-chin and they're saying that, hey, qui fait ça? C'est ta mère, est-ce que oui, c'est ma mère? À toi, mais tu connais pas faire, no. And I'm giving all these responses and all of that. And then, just before I gathered the things to leave, they pay me, and just before I gathered the things to start going my way, this guy asked me, do you have cough? Honestly, I think at this point in time, I've heard enough of the insults towards my voice. So I just get so angry when someone says something about my voice. I'm no longer laughing. I'm angry, not saying anything, but just being angry on the inside. So he says, you have cough. Immediately I get angry. But I don't say anything because, of course, I'm selling and I need them to buy my market. So I cannot come and start insulting customer now. And I said nothing. I just looked at him and I could tell that he understood from my expression. I could tell that he understood from my expression that I wasn't happy about the question. So I gathered my bucket, I put on my head, and as I'm about turning, he tells me, if you have cough, pray that God never heals you of this cough because your voice is so beautiful. That just, as you can imagine, it was a shock. As you would imagine, it came to me as a shock. I had never heard anyone say your voice is beautiful. So it's either people say your voice is ugly, your voice is irritating, your voice is so cranky, or they say nothing at all. It was so strange that it just resounded in my head so many times. Days went by, weeks went by. It's just that your voice is beautiful. Let that cough never get healed. Honestly, when he asked me, do you have cough? Already my mind had conditioned itself to receive a negative thing being said about my voice, because usually that's how it starts. They ask a question and you think it's harmless. Do you have cough? Do you have a cold? I'm like, no, I don't. And boom, the hate start coming. Then I was crack voice, and I was kind of voice that. So now say your voice is normal. like Nasu the talk, since they born you. I began to believe that those who said nothing about the voice equally thought it was ugly, just that they didn't want to say it out loud. Just that they didn't want to say it out loud. Don't get me wrong. It's not that everybody condemned my voice, but it's nobody ever said, to the best of my knowledge, until that day, nobody ever said that my voice is beautiful. That was the first time I ever heard those words. It came to me as a shock. I went back home and I was giving myself a million different reasons why I shouldn't believe what he said. I'm like, maybe he likes me. Maybe he was trying to ask me out. Maybe. I was just talking myself out of believing that my voice is actually beautiful. But for some reason, it felt so strange that I'm thinking that my mind also wanted to understand what this new information meant, because it was so used to receiving negative words being said about my voice. It had gotten comfortable in that negativity, and now something positive came and it just wouldn't leave my mind. Given that my mind was already used to that, it was preparing to receive the negative. So when it went the other way, it was shocked. I was in shock. Like, your voice is beautiful. Pray that the cough never heals because your voice is so beautiful. That was a shocker for me. And so it stayed with me for a very long time. For some reason, I just held on to it. It was strange, but I just held on to it. Like, it was good to hold on to, you know. Fast forward to another season. We've left from the season where I had a voice, I wasn't afraid to use it, to this other season where nobody wants to use this voice. And then not only does nobody want to use it, they're shutting it down at the slightest chance they get. Now I'm moving over to this other phase where my voice, a good thing is being said about my voice. And it feels like this opens me up to more good things being said about my voice, because from then on, I started hearing few positive things amongst the so many negative ones, by the way. Few positive things being said. Hi, your voice is rare. Your voice is unique. I'm like, okay, that's an upgrade from ugly. Rare is an upgrade from ugly, you know. So, okay, let's see where this goes. Then I go to Yaoundé, I meet this guy. He's a friend of my sister. I don't know, our first encounter, I don't know what that was for, but I think my sister sent me to him to deliver a message or something. I meet him at his studio. He's recording an artist, so I wait for him to finish so that we can talk. He finishes, he comes to me, we start talking, I'm giving him the message my sister sent. Then he tells me, wow, your voice is so great. What do you do? Do you sing? I'm like, Are you a journalist? What do you do with your voice? I'm like, nothing. I just talk. Like every other person uses their voice to talk. He's like, no, that's what I'm talking about. I'm like, you have your voice is so gifted, it's so beautiful, it's so unique, and you should be doing something with it. I say nothing because actually I had nothing to say. Long story short, that meeting of that day ended, I went home. Then Raymond calls me. How would you feel if I invite you to work for me at the studio? I'm like, work for you at the studio? All I'd be doing, he said, just come and be my personal assistant. You're going to help me out with a few things and then we pick up from there. He was my first ever boss officially, because technically my mom was my first boss. So Raymond was like the first boss I officially ever had. I'm like, okay, if it's that, I can do that. I can help around. While I'm at the studio, Raymond is doing so many other things to help me. If a contract comes, he's slotting me in somehow. If a TV station comes and they're like, they just need a voice, they need a jingle, they need this, they need somebody to do publicity, Raymond will say, Emmy, enter the studio. And in fact, Raymond, wherever you are, I just want you to know I'm grateful. I know I've told you, but I'm grateful. I love you so much. Thank you for the push you gave this voice at the time. He played a great role. So he would just call me and he would tell me, Emmy, I have to struggle. I have to struggle to bring out the feeling that I'm looking for. But just enter there. Don't do anything. just stand to the mic and say, golden. I'm like, Ray, say, go there, enter. There was so much. He exposed me to so many things. When the product needs advertisement, Raymond is going to tell me you can do it. And he will even tell the people, I know somebody who can do it, before he's coming to inform me that, Madam, I've told this so and so person that you can use your voice to do so and so things. So they are coming to the studio. And I was not afraid, because he will guide me through it. It just felt nice to have someone believe in my voice, for a change. And not only say that the voice is beautiful, but push it to a point where I could do something about it. And yes, he even wrote songs. He wrote his song and he would give me a whole verse to sing. He even wrote a song and he put me in the studio and said, Emmy, sing. I'm like, oh my God, Ray, thank you so much. I couldn't understand what you were doing back then, but I see it now. I get it, and I am grateful. Thank you. Wow. He did that, and shortly after our time together, he made me the communication agent for the artists that were signed under him. So he was exposing me, and Raymond always tell me, you know what, just put your personality to your voice and stand on a stage and you will break that stage. Any stage, you will break it. So he would always encourage me to go and to MC, and he would tell me that you can do it. He would tell people that now, Raymond was the first person who called me an MC in my life. However, he got into telling people that he has an MC at his studio. I don't know. And so they were bringing jobs to me. They were bringing offers to me. And I was doing it. And I was sounding great. And I was loving it. I loved what I was doing, but I didn't love my voice. At that time, though I was doing a lot with my voice, I still didn't love my voice. I still had not accepted my voice. And I don't think that I would have chosen my voice. I was still at a place where if I had a choice, I would choose another voice. But I enjoyed what I was doing. So that season opened me up to a phase where I got aggressive with my voice. Now that I discovered that it was being welcomed and received, I just wanted to put it out there at all costs. And if you dare say something hateful about my voice, I'm coming for you. So it's just like, it's like that. God gave it to me. Deal with it. I developed an attitude in a bit to defend myself against the hateful things that were constantly being said about my voice. So that was another season of being aggressive. And I did a lot. I did radio, I did TV, I did events back to back, weekends and all of that. And I was so happy doing it. In fact, I lived with my aunt, and at the time I had a curfew. I wasn't supposed to be out of the house after 8 p.m. But I would accept to MC events that would keep me out of the house till midnight. I don't care. I will only go and come back looking miserable, bend my head. My auntie will pity me and open the door for my auntie will pity me and open the door for me. But yes, that's how aggressive I got in a bid to try and put my voice out there. But after a while, it felt so empty. Because yes, I loved what I was doing with the voice, but I had not come to a place where I really loved my voice, or I really understood what I had to be doing with my voice. So after a period of time, that period lasted from 2014 right up to about 2018. And it was good while it lasted. But then I just started feeling dry. I felt like, MC, and then what? Everyone now celebrating the voice. The voice, this voice is unique. Everyone now celebrating my voice, talking about how it's unique, talking about how it's beautiful. Now I had gotten so used to the uploads, and I didn't want to hear it anymore because I just felt bizarre. When people celebrate my voice now, I feel bizarre. I don't want to hear people celebrating it. In fact, I don't even want to hear myself. I could not record myself and hear myself. I used to do TV back then, and I had this friend. So he would love watching me on TV. Whenever I enter his house and I'm on air, Jesus, I run away. And he's like, is it not you? You're not the one talking. I'm like, yes, but I don't want to hear it. It's me, but I don't want to hear myself talk. So I had not come to a place where I loved my voice. I had not accepted my voice. I was still struggling because remember, it was being shut out and shut down for so long. Fast forward. Now this is a phase where I shut myself up by myself. I've left the phase where people said hateful things about my voice, and as a result, I shut my voice down. And I'm now in a phase where they're saying all these beautiful things about my voice, but then I shut my voice by myself because I did not love my voice. I did not appreciate it. I did not have confidence in it. And I'm doing nothing with it. I don't want to do anything. They're calling me for jobs. I don't want to go. They're calling me for voiceovers. I don't want to do. They're calling me for events. I don't want to go because the voice just feels empty. It just feels so empty. Fast forward to 2021, I get into this community, my church community, my current church community. And I also get enrolled into the Bethel Atlanta School of Supernatural Ministries in Cameroon. Oh no, before Bethel School, there were some courses that were being offered by the school, by the church. There was the prophetic, there was the supernatural, and then there was Purpose and Destiny. There were like 5 courses. I took all of the 5 courses, and I also took the course on Purpose and Destiny. During that course, we were taught that we have a heavenly identity. And this heavenly identity is what defines our purpose here on earth. In order to understand your purpose and to know what your assignment, what your specific assignment is, you need to understand your heavenly identity. And the only way to understand that is to go back to God and let Him tell you, let Him reveal to you what your identity is, who He calls you, who He sees you to be, so that from that identity, you can live out your purpose. And so we carried out this exercise and we were told to just ask God, Father God, how do you see me? Who do you say I am? How do you call me? I carry out this exercise and I ask these questions, and the answer I hear is the voice. That I'm still doubting because I just started hearing God like clearly, and I'm hearing it, the voice, and I don't know what to make of it. I don't know. I cannot really explain how that makes me feel. I'm not happy. I'm not sad. I'm just indifferent about the response I get from God. And people were asked to share what they've heard, and I didn't share. I didn't say anything. I just kept it to myself. Heaven calls me, the voice, and okay. I go back with it. I go back with this information that is seeming to torment me. Why did I hear the voice? What is it about this voice? Why did I hear the voice? A few weeks after that, I meet one of the pastors. I'm walking into church and I bump into one of the pastors of the church, and she calls me, Emmy, the voice. How are you? I'm like, what? Now I understand where that was coming from, because this is a prophetic community. My church is a prophetic community. But back then I didn't know. So it was kind of strange. I'm like, I did not share this information with anybody. I did not share it that day when we had that course. So where did she come from calling me the voice? I just smiled. I'm like, Pastor Len, I'm fine. Thank you. A couple of weeks after that day, another pastor sent me a voice note. He's checking on me because I was sick. I was seriously sick during that time. So the pastors of the church were constantly checking up on me. So he sends me this voice note and he's like, oh, Emmy, the voice. How are you today? I'm like, what is it with these people? What is it? Can you guys just let me be? I was tempted to ask him. I'm like, Pastor, this name, how did you come about calling me this name? He's like, he thought about me. He was praying for me. And he told God he wants to affirm me. Let God show him how to affirm me. And he could only hear the voice, the voice, the voice. And I share with him. I'm like, okay, that's strange, because that's how heaven calls me. God calls me that. And I've not told anybody. I've not told anybody this thing. And you're calling me the voice. So Sorry that I'm asking, but that's why it came to me as strange. The following year, I get enrolled into the Bethel School of Supernatural Ministries. Amongst the so many other nourishing courses that were being taught during the first year of school, Purpose and Destiny came up again. And of course, we carried out this exercise. But this time around, we had to build I am statements from the identity that heaven has given us. So we had to write it down. And of course, this is school, so you must do it now. As much as I was running away from it, I had to write it down. So I took my pen, I took my paper as instructed by the lecturer. I started writing, I am the voice. I wrote so many other things that I am as God revealed to me, but that was on top. I am the voice. I am the voice. Fast forward to year 2. We're doing Purpose and Destiny again, but it's not about going to your identity, because we have already drawn our identity from heaven in year 1. Now it's about understanding your purpose, aligning it to your life based on the identity that the Father revealed. So we're asked to go back to our notes from year 1, pick out our I am statements, go back to God with it, and let Him show us the purpose behind the I am statements, the purpose behind the identity which He had given us. And I took it. I took my statements. I went back to God, and I'm like, you call me the voice. What am I supposed to be doing with this voice? What is this voice about? And He says that, and He reveals to me that you are the voice of hope, passion, and inspiration. You are the voice that is supposed to encourage people from a place of discouragement, from a place of brokenness, from a place of hopelessness, back to a place of life, back to a place of purpose and possibility, back to a place of excitement, back to a place of positivity. I call you the voice of hope, passion, and inspiration. That changed things for me. It just understanding why I had the voice that I had, it just turned things around. And for the first time, I fell in love with my voice. For the first time in so long, I embraced my voice. For the first time in a very long time, I accepted my voice. Everything I did with my voice from that day till today has been from my heart. It's not been about trying to prove a point to someone. It's not been about trying to show people that though you think it's cranky, you can do something. It's about the fulfillment in my purpose, the fulfillment in who I was designed to be. And that has been the transformation for me. So I left a place where I had a voice. I was not afraid to use it. It was being put in the forefront, to a place where I lost it because hateful things were being said about my voice, to another place where it was being celebrated, it was being appreciated, then to a place where I shut it down because I had not accepted it, because I did not believe in it, because I did not love it. And then to this other place now where I love it, I accept it, I choose my voice over millions of other voices. I choose my voice any day, anytime, anywhere. For the purpose that God has given me, for who I am meant to be, there is no better voice to accompany this identity. There is no better voice to accompany this purpose. There is no better voice to achieve these dreams than the one that I have. I chose it. I love it. I'm grateful that I have it. And it took me all those years to get to this place, which I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the process. I'm grateful for the journey, because I thought at the time that it was killed when my mom said I would do sciences instead of art. What if she had the money to sponsor me to doing any career of my choice? I would probably been a journalist, a great one, but maybe not fulfilling my purpose. The reason why I can be a voice of hope, inspiration, and passion is because I've been hopeless myself. I've been discouraged myself. I've been shut down myself. And I know how that feels. I know what it looks like. I'm a little above 30 years of age, but it feels like I sometimes feel like I've had 60 years worth of experiences in life. Amongst the so many things that have happened to me in life, this has been the most difficult. This has been the most triumphant for me, to be able to find my way back to my voice. And so when my mom sent me that voice note, it just reminded me of myself as a little girl, how happy, how fulfilling it was for me to stand in front of all of those people and speak out. And doing it today takes me back to that place of fulfillment. And so when I started this channel, people gave comments saying that, oh, it's about time. What have you been waiting for? We are here for you. We are waiting. I'm grateful for all that. But the answer to the question, what have you been waiting for, is I've been afraid. I've been scared. I've been shut down by fear. I shut myself down, and not anymore. I've overcome the fear. I love my voice, and I'm out here to fulfill my purpose. I'm out here to fulfill my God-given purpose. He calls me the voice. And with my voice, I'm here to encourage, to motivate, and inspire you back to a place of hope. Because whenever there is hope, there is life. You cannot lose hope. You just can't. Yeah, that's it. Thank you all for listening. It went well, actually. I wasn't sure about how this was going to go because, like I said, I didn't have a script, but I'm glad that I just got it off my chest. I feel so relieved, and I'm glad that I got to share this part of me with you. At least now, when I release my other content, you would get to understand better why I am passionate about encouraging people to not give up, to stay hopeful, to keep their hope alive, because where there is hope, there is life. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. What do you think about the challenge I went through? Do you think it was tough? Do you think it was easy? Do you think there's something I could have done differently? Just share your thoughts and let me know. And also let me know if you're facing a challenge like this, if you've gone through something like this, or if you're currently dealing with something like this. So together we can encourage one another and find a better place to stand in hope and courage. I'm so glad that you stayed with me to this point and you watched the video right to the end. I will see you on my next video. But until then, stay hopeful, stay encouraged, and stay inspired. Remember, this is Emmy, and when Emmy speaks, she speaks to the world. Are you listening? Bye.